Hello, and welcome back to ShrubSMP Season 7. This is Episode 21. And Happy New Year! This episode is actually going to be filmed over the winter holiday and released on my exact 1-year anniversary of this uploading videos to this channel, that is. And needless to say, I've been having all kind of fun with expanding this world and building my builds here. But since we are doing the holiday theme here, we can see that, as per usual, every year Minecraft, just like they have the Halloween theme at the end of October, during the winter holidays, they have holiday-themed things like the gift boxes here. Now, these are actually just chests. That's a large chest, and do I have a small chest on me? I don't. We'll see when we go inside. But the small chests are like a little red gift box. And that made me think one of the things I wanted to do in this episode, while we're over here at the pipe that I had talked about last time for the sugarcane farm, that will be dropping all of the sugarcane that is produced in this sugarcane farm down right now into this chest. But we eventually want to get a waterway going right there and into the Dark Castle somewhere. And then what we're going to do is tie it together with the gunpowder that's been falling down from the creeper farm. Put those two things together with a auto crafter and make an auto crafting rocket machine. We'll probably stick here on this wing, this wall of the Dark Castle. But like I said, with this holiday theme here getting started, I wanted to go back into the storage system that I recently finished and kind of look at this. Look at all those presents. Oh, and let's quick demonstrate. There we can see it right here. That's what the red box looks like when it's a single box. Well, I'm going to need these in my inventory because our plan for today, at least the first half of this episode, is I'm going to start making progress during the winter holiday here with all these fun gift boxes all around and put a second level of storage. Now, part of the thing is just putting it there is one thing, and we're going to have to figure out how to supply it. And I had a really cool and fun idea for how to do that. We already have these water streams coming up with the items getting shot up in the air and falling around the visible water stream that we can see going through the item filters. But then I thought what we could do is continue this and having some more water pipes coming from the other categories of our auto sorting machine, because right now we only have two. We have kind of the stones and rocks, and we have the woods. And there's still valuables, and there's still organics or redstone or some of the other categories there that we can filter out into two more waterways. And I think if I had one going here close to this one but not up on that level, we could probably have it come up this wall into the wall through like a pipe, and that's what we're going to do. So that's going to keep me busy for a little while here over the next couple days. We'll check in and make some progress reports, see how things are going, but I think where we want to start is right here. We're going to need to get up to that second level somehow, and to do that we're going to build some quick little stairs to get us up there, clear out some of this, and start to build the second floor of storage. It's going to look very similar. We'll have the Impulse SV, storage item filters behind them, and get a whole second level up here. But for now, it's time to get started on the inside in here, and let's make this stairway. Oh my goodness. Hello there. And what do we have? We have... So, for context, I actually just logged on after some holiday festivities, just getting home back to the office here, and wanted to start building that stairwell and the second floor, which actually we're going to do in a time lapse here in just a few moments. But as I logged onto the server, I was standing right here, and as I log back on, there is a giant present right here, right for me. I'm with my two cats over here. Oh, look, there's a sign. Okay, 26 cluster from K-pop. Oh, so one of our server mates here, K-pop, looks like they've left a gift. That means I probably need to open it. It should. It's kind of like a present. Do you open it from the bottom down or the top down? I think we're gonna. Maybe we'll hop up top here and see what it looks like from the top down. That's awfully nice of them. I'm so glad to get in the holiday spirit here. After I came home from the real life festivities, to come back into Minecraft here and see a present for me. So looks like we definitely have some carpets that kind of made for the ribbon. Let's go right in the middle. Punch out this sucker here. Oh, what great spot to punch it out because there is a barrel. So I'll go ahead and look into the barrel. Oh my goodness. What a bunch of wonderful, wonderful, amazing riches. And there's a book. Now, it may or may not be private, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at this and be right back. Well, that was certainly an unexpected and very pleasant surprise, and I certainly do appreciate the gift. Wow, so that means, to paraphrase again, I want to keep that private, but just to paraphrase, they had remembered that I said that I, was like kind of busy and wanted to move on with the armor upgrades, but needed to get to mine some more ancient debris so I can make some netherite, and obviously, that's what we have here, saving me the time and to be able to advance on that as kind of a present and a thank you for our time on the server here. So I really do appreciate that, and thank you so very much. We'll definitely take advantage of it, like I said, but I guess for now, we'll leave it here in position, and I'll actually take this back to the Starter Area Museum. We're going to have to make this one of the permanent exhibits there, so I'll relocate it also before the end of this episode. But in the meantime, we'll leave it here as we get ready to do the time lapse so I can build up a second floor of storage while we still have the holiday themed boxes, and then talk about what this piping system is going to look like. So for the time being, let me go gather up materials, and then we'll head into the time lapse right now. Alright, well, I'm back on the server after the holiday, and as you can tell, the chests are back to normal, so they end, actually. They only last for a couple days, right around the big holiday, but we have that second layer at the end of the time-lapse was the last thing I did during the holiday, and we're back now. So, now that we have this whole second layer built, we have to figure out a way to get the items in them, or at least through them. So I've already kind of built up, as part of that time-lapse, the waterway that will be going around both sides. But unlike the ones on the lower level that are fed from underneath the floor, we're going to feed these from the sky. And to do that, we got to get them into the first hopper right here. To get it in here, I kind of had the idea that it would come through this wall and through a pipe that kind of suspended over the ceiling. It would come right over here and whip right to my feet and right in this hopper, and then on along through the item sorter. Now, to do that, we're going to have to do 2 steps today, and the first one being is we have to make a trench similar to the one that we have for the lower level here to get to a item elevator, which will just be a regular water bubble elevator. The water will go up and through there. Now, for pipes, what I'd like to do, and I already did it once, but you saw earlier on the sugarcane farm outside, is to use trapdoors. And this isn't going to be exactly where it's going to be, but all you really need to do is just kind of put some blocks down. You can do this actually without the blocks. You can put the trapdoors on top of each other, and when you open them up, if you have them right in the right orientation, they can create a solid wall surface. And if I do this on all sides, you can see here, just for example, it creates a space, and the space you can use as a open void pipe where things fall down, or you can put water in it with a bubble column and make them go up. And that's what we're going to do. I just have to work out exactly where to put it. That would be really something if this is exactly where it was supposed to be. I don't think it is exactly. We'll figure that out, and what we'll do as an example is hook up the first one, and to do that, we're going to need to also build the dropper mechanism. Now, these, because of how close they are, even though they're only 2 blocks wide, if they were next to each other and I made all the water sources go this way, they would be so adjacent that each one of them would be triggering each other anytime anyone does. And while that's not the end of the world, it could get a little noisy. So I'm alternating each one. So I have to reverse this hopper, point it in the other direction, and the associated slice selector up there, which I think is the second one, should be the redstone, if I'm thinking right. It is the redstone, yeah. So we'll have redstone components going through that one. It'll come through the other direction, and that's the first one. This is the second one. So it'll be coming through here and zipping around here and then through the wall. The reason the measurement is important, and we'll see this when I start to get, we're just going to do the one side as a example before we move on with today's episode. But because it's the way water flows, water only flows upwards of so many blocks before it ends. Well, we actually need it to kind of go a little further than that. So we're going to use something called a step-down technique. And the step-down technique is exactly what it sounds like. We go from one layer down one level to another layer, and that allows the water to continue to flow a lot farther than it normally will. It'll all make sense when we get it built up. So in the meantime, I'm going to get started here and kind of let you know what's going on along the way. But right off the bat, through this first hopper, we already, I think, okay, it went in there. I was going to say, the glass already got zipped through. We're going to have a horizontal surface. That's going to be the bottom of the pipe, and it's going to have to go out a certain number of blocks, which again, I still have to go, falling down. We're still going to have to calculate. It's going to go out several, and then up one, and then over at a 90-degree angle through that wall, and we'll build a pipe on the other side. So that's the plan. We'll get this done as an example, and then we'll move on. All right, so I'm up here up the top. We have a little bit of a status update. So we've definitely got the pipe, at least the open pipe for this side. We go to the other side. This is exactly where it meets up, which means right down here. And it's kind of wild that that block's always been here. It was a premonition that it knew exactly where this was going to be. We could just now build up the pipe to the top and move on with the next step. All right, now that we're up here, this is always the fun part is, oh, nope, don't need to place the trapdoor. We want to flick the trapdoors is the fun part. You know, flip, 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 flip. Oh, wait, I got stuck on one. Oh, that's not good. But anyway, yes, so now, once we have these things, there is just a little pipe, which means we're going to have to go back up to the top eventually and put water to the bottom. But down here in the bottom, as we can see, we have to go ahead and make this hole. Not that much of a hole, and make the follow it underneath. We're actually gonna have to move this block now, and you're going to go one block over, maybe 2 blocks over, which means we don't need the torch. Okay, stream of consciousness here. So that means, boy, this is going to cut it awful close. We're going to have to go straight down here through the outline of the chunk border originally and figure out how to get this second slice. Oh, this is going to be pretty well straightforward. I believe it's like 1, 2 blocks out, 3. This is where the dispensing unit's going to go. It's going to go right around the corner and get the water to flow right underneath here. And at the bottom is where we will have a soul sand right there. So let me grab my redstone components and build this machine. All right, so we've got the dropper mechanism built over here, the redstone on this side. We got a little waterway heading to the soul sand. We'll put the water pipe in on this side in just a second, but let's quick test it to make sure it works. Whoop, that's a bunch of them. And there they go, and they get zipped underneath there. Now off to the top to put the water in there. All right, so one thing that's really important when trying to put water around trapdoors is do not touch the trapdoors. It will fall through the other side. They are treated like air, basically, when it comes to water, unless water's already flowing over it, which is what we're going to do, is make these pipes. So we're going to put the water right on this block here, and it's going to flow down to the bottom against the wall, not the trapdoors. And then all we got to do is grab our kelp and go back to the bottom, do the old kelp trick, plant it, get it all the way to the top, and go back down, knock it all off, and that will turn them all into source blocks, and we should go flying up in the air. Boom! All right, hit our head and get right up in there. All right, now, what do we have to do next? We got to get some more water flowing over this side, around the corner, and here's that step down we talked about. It'll step down, and it'll go right to the edge and into this, where we can start a new water stream. To do that, we actually, just because of what I said, we got to put a solid block on the other side up here, and actually we got too many trapdoors as it is, but this guy right here needs to be a solid block so we can put the water against it. Maybe I'll go grab a block of copper or something, and then we can make like, actually we'll take these 2 trapdoors off, and we'll kind of make like a little ring up here that'll kind of look like it's a retaining pipe. On the fly little design here, so I'll just quick go down, grab those items, and come back up top. Alright, so we just got to scaffold our way back to the top, and climb up there and throw this right on the edge. How do I do that? Bang, okay, right there. And then from there, let's get one of those and one of these. And if we go back in there, that must mean it's time for the water. Okay. Don't go everywhere. Just go around here, around the corner. It reaches the step down. It did not step down. And I think part of the reason for that is did I miscalculate? No. What happened? Do I want to put a water here? I think I know what I want to do. I actually want it to slide here because it has to wrap around. So part of the math that had to happen here was there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by the time it gets to the first hopper, and then 7. So like to make this corner and then to start a new water stream wasn't really working out. So what we can do I have any ice in my inventory? Yeah. We can put pieces of ice so that when an item comes, it will slide across the ice and then go on to the next water stream. That's another step down, right? No? No, oh yeah, we just put the water there. And we can put the water right against the ice. I'm out of water. Be right back. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to have the ice there, and then one more thing of water, and the water goes around the corner, and it meets up with the other side, and then from there, we can go back to normal by putting water on the next one, and it will go to the next one, and so on and so forth out to the other side. So that's kind of the idea for how this pipe's going to work, and we'll get the other one installed later, but I think now it's time to move away from the inside here. Well, I guess we got to put a cover on this. We'll do one more little piece of detail, and then move on. Alright, so now that we got the top up there, one thing I notice is if you just kind of step back and look at it, it doesn't look structurally sound. I mean, it kind of sticks out and then sticks over. It's on a 90-degree angle. Maybe this side would be best done by a little support from above. So I quick grabbed a couple slabs and some iron chains, and we're going to go ahead and pop this one out and throw in 2 slabs. A little trick with the stone slabs is they kind of create this like 2x look, which is kind of cool compared to the full block that I usually use. And if we just put some chains on top of it, bang, just like that. So now let's step back, look at it. It should look a little more structurally normal. Yeah, there we go. So it's definitely looks like it's being supported and it's hanging above. And of course the water is dripping down. That's why we only have it off in the corner, so it doesn't really make this place feeling like it's going to be flooding underwater or nothing like that. So that's pretty much what we're going to do for the inside. But the last little detail for here, I'm going to come back and work on the other side. We basically just have to do symmetry and do it for the other side. Hook up another auto crafter for the fourth thing from the auto sorter system. And then it will look just the same just over there. The trick of it is, though, just like we have this recirculation pattern under here for the lower level, we are going to need a recirculation. I can't get up there. We're going to need some recirculation for the second level. Once these things go all the way around, if they go here and then they go here, I already kind of indicate what's going to happen. They hit a brick wall here, and I had the idea that we could use some copper piping on the outside. This is outdoors. We don't want wood out there. We want copper. We're not going to be able to get to it in today's episode, but probably in the meantime or something else, I'm going to string some copper out and just in a pipe, just in that same design. I'm going to go out along the wall and then up across the roof and back right in, and it's going to meet this pipe over here and drop back in, and that way we'll have the recirculation that you need to make sure that you don't lose any items. But to wrap things up around here, I think what we're going to quick do is make a pair of shears, take this gift down, and bring it back to the starter area and stick it as part of the museum, and then we'll be able to wrap up today's episode. But I think that's about all the time we have for today. It has been a fantastic first year here on the server, and I'm certainly looking forward to a lot more fun in 2025, including updating the server to version 1.21.4, going to the end and fighting the Ender Dragon, and getting my Elytra. But for now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.